Hello, my friends. Today we are going to be going over foliage in Unreal Engine, and we are going to dive right in. I have my project open here from the last video I did on landscapes that went over landscape materials and building your landscape. This is my general map here. Get your map loaded, and when you get in there, first thing first, we're going to add some assets that we can use as foliage. So you can do that either from Unreal Marketplace or Quixel Bridge. I have some from both. If you go to Quixel Bridge, you can go to 3D plants and grab something out of here and use that as some foliage, or you can go into the marketplace and get some trees or something of that nature and use those. And when you have that loaded, what you're going to do is go to the drop down in the top left corner, the selection mode, click that drop down, go to foliage, or you can press Shift 3 to also do this and cycle through them. There's Shift 1 through 8 there. But foliage mode, click into that. Some of the assets that I brought in from Quixel are right here already without me having to load them. But you may have to load your assets. Oftentimes, you do have to load your assets or what you're going to use. You can click this foliage button and add them that way, or you can go to your content drawer and click into your geometry. I'll do pivot painter and drop them in from here as well. So when you drop them in, you can see there's a little icon here that pops up and shows that you've put that in there. I could do another one and it'd pop up for me. It may take a second to load. Sometimes Unreal has to prepare shaders and things of that nature to load these up before they actually pop up here. But when they do pop up, when you do have them in here, what you can do is zoom in a little here. You can select one of these, all of these, whatever you are thinking by checking this to activate it. And then you can also click into it to go to the settings for it. Right now it has a density of 100, radius of 0. It also is controlled up here by the paint density. So it's going to be very dense currently. It might paint like, let's see, 21 trees in that section. And you can see that they are absolutely ginormous for whatever reason. So we'll go over both of those things currently. I'm going to Control Z to undo that. What you can do is lower the density up top here to say 0.5. You can also lower the density down here in the settings for this piece of foliage as well, say 50 for that one. So when I paint it now, it might give me, say, a quarter of what I had. So I had 21, it might give me 5 or 6 here now. Yeah, so it gave me 5. They're still gigantic. Going over scaling, if you go just a touch bit further down in the painting section here, you have scale X is what it's called. Minimum and maximum. I would put the minimum down for this guy pretty low. I'm going to do 0.1, and then I'm going to change the max from 1 to maybe 0.6 because it's already pretty large. So now when I paint, it should paint 5 as it previously did, but it should look much nicer. It should be much more to scale for what it should be. So as you see, they do look a lot nicer. They are a bunch there, the 5 of them, and you could make a little forest here. Say if you held and painted, you could paint a whole bunch of them and make a dense forest. If you wanted it to be less dense, as I said, you can change it up top for this piece of foliage, or you can change it down in the actual settings for this piece of foliage. So what is cool is, say, now I also select my other tree here. I'm guessing that one's going to be massive. Oh, it's not too bad, thankfully. But I have both those trees selected and say I think it's a little dense. I'll take down this density up top and it'll paint less of both of them and it'll decrease the density for my entire selection of foliage here. Moving on, I do have things like grass, which I could include as well. If I wanted to say just paint grass, I could take that, just select that, and have some of these painted down. You may need to zoom in to see them, but have these little grass patches here as well. Oftentimes, these actors have wind available to them. So if I were to select this actor and go to selection mode, go to details, these might already have it. So sometimes you need to control the wind inside of here. I don't think you need to for these. Wait. No, I don't believe you need to, which is great. As you can see, though, when I click off of them, they actually do have some movement to them and look like they are moving a little bit in the wind. So that's a very cool feature about them when you get them from, say, Megascans or Unreal Marketplace, Quixel Bridge, things of that nature. Oftentimes have the movement built into them like that. So next thing, you can also, let me pop back into foliage. You can also take things such as rocks, such as other assets, and take those and put them into your foliage mode as well to scatter them across your map. You can take things like I have a rock here, so I'm going to add these rocks here, and I have a skull, so I'm going to take this skull here and add both of those in as well. Uncheck my grass. Those two are checked, and with those checked, what I would like to do is go to my paint, the selected foliage section. My density, I'm going to change down to 50 for both of these, and then I will paint here, and you'll see what I get when I zoom in just a second. So when you look, you can see that I have a ton of rocks, and then some of these skulls, which are pretty small here, but some of these skulls sitting around as well, and they're just scattered everywhere. You have randomly some skulls sitting here, some rocks sitting here, some skulls sitting here, and I think it's a great tool to build your environment. It helps build it very quickly and helps keep you pretty organized. It tells you exactly, if you look over to the left here, how many of each piece of foliage you have in your scene, and helps you with things such as selecting them, removing them, erasing them, or doing even single instances of foliage. So, beyond that, I would say I can't think of too much else. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any tips, comments, concerns, questions, please let me know. And I hope we can continue to build knowledge together and, just have a great time. So thank you and take care.